Galnet News, your galaxy in focus, 18th of May, 3301. In today's news, the East India Company locks down Liaedin. The First Galactic Summit brings 22 factions to the discussion table. Dr. Arcanonn accuses the Federation of a cover-up. The upgrade of Parkinson Dock in Eotienses is complete. Reynhardt Intellisys virtual reality subsidiary posts 5 trillion credit loss. And the Prism Senator refuses to commit to factions or future. Our top story today. The East India Company have locked down the system of Liaedin, citing concerns over a breach of the Treaty of Liaedin, and therefore imminent war and destabilization of the system. The Treaty of Liaedin is designed to keep the peace in the critical neutral system, which has lasted for 1,000 years and stipulates that neither the Crimson Fortune Company nor Patron's Principles should be in a position to dominate the fragile system's influence. East India Company's spokesperson in this matter, Commander Galnet, has called out what he describes as the terrorist of Liaedin, a Commander Walzan said to be acting under the pseudonym Federation Navy HQ, and his group, known as the Shadow Navy, for inciting violence in the system that could lead to a conflict. At yesterday's Galactic Summit, the East India Company stood alongside 5 other factions in signing the treaty, which included Big Harry's Boys, the Merchant Marines, the Federal Navy Elite, Dark Echo, and Adel's Armada. Some of these factions are aligned with the Empire, and others with the Federation, demonstrating that a commitment to peace in Liaedin is not a commitment to a specific major power. Commander Galnet went on to state that non-East India Company personnel entering Liaedin will be asked to leave, and non-compliance could result in the use of lethal force. He went on to apologize to those genuinely looking to enter Liaedin peacefully, but stated that maintaining the long-standing peace in this crucial system takes priority at this time. Commander Walzan made a public response to East India Company's stance, stating that the Shadow Navy had initiated a secretive operation in Liaedin with the aim of giving the Federation control of the system. He went on to say, "We have decided this situation cannot continue. If Liaedin is truly to act as a beacon of peace in this galaxy, as many commanders desire, then it can only do so with at least one station under Federation control. All Federation commanders are requested to fly into Liaedin and support us in our effort to take control of one of the 3 stations in the name of the Federation." The reaction to today's East India Company announcement amongst fellow pilots has been mixed. Some pilots support the peace efforts and the resulting temporary lockdown, whilst others have been hostile to the perceived removal of freedom and have resolved to damage the East India Company as a result. East India Company officials maintain that the lockdown is only expected to last until stability can be restored in Liaedin, a period they expect to take no longer than 18 hours. Yesterday marked the First Galactic Summit and saw a total of 22 factions at a single discussion table in talks designed to outline their stances on key issues chosen by the members of our galaxy. Key amongst these topics included the signing of the Treaty of Liaedin, which was undertaken by 6 of the attending factions, a call for the condemnation of Senator Denton Petraeus for acts of warmongering, which was approved by 8 of the attending factions, and the suggestion that organizations or pilots who act purely on the basis of griefing others be killed on sight, which was approved by 16 attending factions. A recording of the entire summit has been made available for all to view, and those interested should search their galactic network for First Galactic Summit. Talks are ongoing to establish the date of the next summit. Some more news now on the attempt to uncover the meaning behind the unknown artifacts found near He-Bo by Dr. Arcanonn and his team. Despite pleas for information from the Scientific Cross-Faction Coalition, the federal authorities remain tight-lipped. According to sources close to Dr. Arcanonn and his team, President Halsey's government have refused to even acknowledge that Federation ships have been transporting the artifacts through populated space, despite mounting evidence. The authorities have also been accused of providing Dr. Arcanonn with nothing more than cryptic responses designed to stall their investigations. Dr. Arcanonn is quoted as saying, "This information blackout is outrageous. They have to understand that they have no right to withhold this information. I would ask all humans, no matter their allegiance, to contemplate the existence of these objects and their meaning. I would also ask them to contemplate why the other major powers are not so much as passing the slightest comment on this. What are they hiding? Some members of our community are done with waiting to be fed lies, simply to allow the Federation to perhaps continue to acquire some perceived military advantage. If no information is forthcoming immediately, I cannot be held responsible for the consequences. When asked to clarify exactly what this implied, Dr. Arcanonn declined to comment further. In a possibly related development, reports suggest some Federation convoys are being shadowed by groups of unidentified combat ships. The unknown artifacts that hold so much importance for Dr. Arcanonn and his team are believed to be related to curing a disease spreading throughout the He-Bo system, although much speculation surrounding their true meaning has been rife in the galaxy as a whole. Dr. Arcanonn previously appealed to pilots Federation members to assist in locating and uncovering the meaning of these artifacts, and offered to pay for these crucial finds in tons of palladium. The exact nature and significance of the artifacts in question remains undetermined, although Arcanonn's team appears to be committed to the truth, despite perceived damaging intervention from the Federation. Some news from Parkinson Dock now, where after 2 weeks of frantic construction, which saw close to 70,000 engineers working around the clock to get the project finished in time, the dock is now home to some of the most advanced factories in the entire Empire. The upgrade was completed as part of Senator Petraeus' plan to increase economic opportunities for the residents of his home system. 2,267 commanders helped ship a total of 8.2 million tons of industrial materials to Parkinson Dock, all of which were put to good use during the construction effort. In particular, the Eotienses Citizens Forum would like to honour Viscount Plo Koon, Baron Coiling Dragon, Earl Prawnetto, Earl Morton, and Baron Cosmetaz for their assistance in refitting Parkinson Dock in preparation for its new role as a dedicated research and development hub for new military technologies. Some news from the federal home system of Sol, where the first time in almost a decade, Utopic Entertainment, the subsidiary of Reynhardt Intellisys responsible for some of the top virtual reality experiences in the galaxy, has posted an operating loss of almost 5 trillion credits. Investors were shocked by the news, which saw Reynhardt Intellisys shares drop by almost 14%. Reynhardt Intellisys has issued the following statement in an attempt to explain the drastic change in profits. Overall, uptake of Utopic's products in independent, alliance and imperial markets remains strong. We continue to see a yearly growth rate between 1 and 2% per sector, which in many cases means that we are exceeding our targets. The losses posted for this year are partly due to the construction of a completely new and extremely exciting line of VR streams, which includes the latest installment in the popular CQC franchise. In-sim purchases within federal markets have fallen below expected levels, but an analysis of the market suggests that the losses are part of a general downward trend that appears to be affecting a wide range of media companies operating in federal systems. The cause of this drop-off in purchases remains unclear at this time. Senator Kahina Tiani Loren, currently residing as a guest on Capitol at the request of Chancellor Blaine, remains completely ambivalent to inquiries into her intentions. She has airily dismissed questions regarding her purpose or what was said to her at the reception to which she was summoned, and continues to ignore requests from the press. Now there appears to be another name in the frame. Cuthric Delaney, ambassador to the Prism system, has had a long and varied career within the Empire, first coming to prominence during the events which ended the dictatorship of Dr. Walden on the old world planet of Lave. His precise involvement in that event was unclear, and he seems to have lost none of his ability to stay close to those with power in the intervening time. He has been seen in conversation with Kahina on many occasions. There is considerable conjecture as to what stance Kahina will take. Many have stated that her aggressive tendencies will align her to Senator Petraeus. Others have pointed out her support for traditional imperial slavery, and her distant family connection to the Javals indicates an allegiance with Senator Torval is more likely. It would appear that only Kahina and perhaps Cuthric Delaney actually know. In other news, the Senator's ship was confirmed to have had some significant modifications made to it recently, including a state-of-the-art fuel scoop and a custom-built Guatemala Discovery scanner. That's the Galnet news for today. Tune in next time to keep your galaxy in focus.